Hello, hello, hello. What's good, everybody? You already know it's Tuesday night, so it is time to get it in and talk about the final two episodes of season one, The Boys. And I, for one, have been excited as hell for this ride. Oh, man, I was just telling my man, I am so happy to finally see a series nail the landing, stuck the finale. From start to finish, I have been all in on this series. What about you, fandom? How you doing today?
Man, with that finale, I'm getting ready to buy myself a Starlight Funko Pop right now. That's how good I am with this damn finale.
I'm telling you, this is just the juice all the way through from start to finish. I've been pumped. And yeah, we got so many things to talk about. So many things to talk about. But yeah, like I just said, spoiler alert, I've finally found a series that found a way to stick a finale. That's how you just kick ass all the way through a series and then stick the landing. That is, I mean, yeah, they got her done. Oh, bringing it all the way back. The Boys season one, episode 7. This one was called The Self-Preservation Society. And this week opens with a flashback to the Vought Christmas party 8 years ago. And 8 years is the same amount of time that Billy's bae, Becca, went missing. So I was on full alert right out of the gate with this one. And then I see Billy bring her a drink. I'm like, here we go. Like, I was just excited right out of the gate for the episode 7. How about you?
Because I think it was finally like revealed like she was this whole time was like working for Vought before the whole situation. So it's like, damn, that was kind of hit home personally.
Exactly. Like they start filling in things, they start filling in the blanks right out of the gate. And then we get Homelander entering, saying hello to Becca, like straight away. Do you think he always had eyes for her? Or was it like Billy's little jab about being dishonest that kind of set him on her path?
I don't think you always knew.
You don't think, you think it was just kind of a thing that happened in between
Yeah,
them? And
I
like,
think it
you
was
don't
just a coincidence.
think so? Man, I don't know. The way Homelander is like he just seems so directed, like everything has a motive. But I don't know. The way he said it later, it's like, yeah, we got some stuff to talk about that. But I did like how Butcher made mention, as I did last recap, on Homelander always walking around in that sweaty ass plum smuggling suit all day. Like, doesn't he just have to stink everywhere he goes?
I always wonder, like, is that the same suit or no?
You think he's got multiple suits like that?
No, he has multiple. I don't think it's the same one.
Oh man, I don't know. I think it's the same. I think they're all in the same suits, and I'm telling you, all of them are always walking around. I mean, the Deep is always in his funky little suit, and A Train running around. A Train runs around, works out, sweats his ass off, and then goes to a meeting. You're gonna tell me he's not bringing the funk with him?
I mean, he's so fast. He can just like wash his own suit, and it's all brand new.
Oh man, I don't know about that. What's up, Jay Cruz? How you doing out there, brother? Oh man, what do you think? Would it not just be funky if you got all these superheroes in the same room at the same time, with them all being in the same damn suit all the time? Would they not just be called the Funky Bunch? I don't know. For some reason, I just keep thinking about that when I see them in the same thing all the time. But we see Billy still following Huey as our man. Huey is about to seal the deal with Starlight. And can we really blame him? I mean, come on, this is Starlight. Like a girl literally light years out of his league. Can we be mad at him for trying to hook up?
Hell no. But be careful though, because we already had one episode where they talk about they having sex. His one guy's dick came off. What's gonna happen to Huey?
Right? You know, what's this? Is she all of a sudden like gonna come to orgasm and then like her eyes light up and fry his brain or shoot like light beams out and kill somebody? Like, you never know. You do have to be careful. And how amazing would it be, like, literally, to have your woman have her eyes light up every time she orgasm, just taking the guessing right out of it for those who can't tell? Oh, just taking the guessing game right out of it. You're like, mission accompli. That'd be amazing. But did Huey blow his one chance of like coming clean with Starlight? I mean, she even waited until after the festivities to bring it up. Like, after hearing the truth, would she just end him right then and there, or would you think she'd be a little forgiving if he would have came clean right after they did that?
Nah, she would end it right then and there.
You think so? He was smarter to just keep his mouth shut?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that's crazy. But back at Vought, Highlander is looking through the photo shots he got from Mesmer, and the picture of Billy finally rings a memory of who he is. And then we see the Deep, who's been downgraded from the bright lights of the high crime of New York City to this lowly, dismal lifestyle living in Sandusky, Ohio. And I don't know about you, but once I hear Sandusky, I just instantly start thinking Tommy Boy.
Guess that's the generational guy, because I don't know what that is.
Sandusky, Ohio? You don't know Tommy Boy?
No, I don't know Tommy Boy.
You have not watched Tommy Boy the movie?
Nope.
Oh,
Now I have to
Chris
add that to
Farley.
my list now.
Oh, you need to put that at the front of your list. Are you kidding me? Chris Farley in his heyday, oh, you have to watch Tommy Boy like instantly, as soon as possible. That might have to be our next recap, just because. Are you kidding me? That's literally one of the greatest movies ever made. Unbelievable. But a Starlight, that's funny. You haven't heard. That's blowing me away right now. Such a generational gap. That's awesome. Getting to see all sides of it, though. If Starlight wouldn't have caved and actually told everybody what the Deep tried to pull right out of the gate, would we have still ended with the same outcome of the Deep getting phased out? Like, would things have just happened quicker? Like, wouldn't we have still came to this outcome just only faster if she would have been honest and told everybody what he did right out of the gate?
This would have been super quicker, instantly, and he deserves every bit of it.
Absolutely. So I'm like, man, if she would have just told him to piss off, but yeah, she was a little naive and she fell for the BS. But man, I don't know. If she would have just told him to just beat feet and told everybody what happened, I think we just get to this, yeah, exactly, a lot faster. And out on the track, it looks like the side effects of Compound V are taking a toll on A-Train. Like, it's killing him, but it sounds like he'd rather die than lose his spot on the 7.
Of course, I said it before. The man's a junkie. Once on Compound V, always on Compound V.
He said, our man is a Compound V crackhead.
And I worry because it's like with Huey, would he ever take Compound V?
Oh, is it going to come down to that? Is he going to have to try to save Starlight at some point, and he's going to have to take the V to soup up?
That's my question. It's like one of the no. It comes to either Huey or Frenchie. So I think in another episode, like Frenchie was tempted to take it. So it's
Oh,
either Frenchie or Huey.
I think Frenchie wants to take it too bad. So I could see it more being Huey, like, who doesn't necessarily want to do it. Because we already heard Homelander say in the other episode that we'll talk about it, but they've tried it on adults, and there's a reason that they do it in babies, because it doesn't take so well in adults. Most people die from it. But there are those random ones where it actually works on. A-Train's another one that must smell funky as hell. Like I said, I mean, always in his uniform, just coming from the workout. Like, I guess he could run home, clean it, and come back, but I don't think he does. I think he just walks into meetings funky as hell. For some reason, I just can't let that go. It's just crazy. But Homelander lets him in on the fact that they're under attack, and he 100% blames Starlight. He's full-on ready to end her when Queen Maeve steps in on her behalf. Like, was he literally going to kill her, Starlight, right then and there?
This is why I love and hate Homelander. You hate his personality, but you love his unpredictableness. Like, you don't know what you're gonna get with Homelander in any situation, and that's why they just all fear him. So he could have just instantly just killed Starlight, or he just pretty much was trying to scare her. Either way, he controlled that scene. It was like almost like in this episode, the finale, and other previous episodes. I'm just like, the best scenes in this show is with Homelander.
Oh, he is definitely the star of the show. There's no doubt about it. And speaking of no doubt about it, all Farley movies, most excellent. Black Sheep, yeah, they're all great. But Tommy Boy is one of my all-time favorites. Literally one of the greatest comedies ever made, in my opinion. It is. You have to watch it. Got to do it. But Homelander relents and says Starlight is now Queen Maeve's responsibility. And like I said, she said, like, she's under your watch now. Do you think he'd really kill them both just to prove a point?
No, he would.
In a heartbeat, right? Like, he wouldn't even think twice about it. He is just a sadistic bastard. But back out at the hideout, Huey comes clean about sleeping with Starlight, and the crew realize they're all burned once Huey gets a call from A-Train. And A-Train tells him to come home and come alone. And, like, how hair-raising would that be, going head-to-head with a soup for the life of a loved one?
Repeat that?
Like, if you got a call and you knew, like, this was his dad, but say, your mom's at home and all of a sudden, you have a soup there, basically, that's going to kill her, that's telling you to come and come alone. Like, how hair-raising would that be? You have to go battle a soup by yourself knowing you got no chance?
Hell no, I would not go home. I would not go alone. Like, they tell me, oh, come along. I'm like, get out of here.
Even A-Train says, man, you should have showed up with something. Like, I know I told you to come alone, but you shouldn't have done it. Like, yeah, I mean, you can't be that stupid. But A-Train was going off saying, like, he just made a mistake, but Huey was doing all this on purpose, and then asked, so who's worse? Do you think he had a point?
I was going back and forth on that scene. Because it's like, it was A-Train's fault, killing Robin. But then Huey was just so gun-ho getting revenge. He was pretty much like turning into a Billy Butcher at that point. Because Billy Butcher, he was just so crazy about getting revenge on Homelander. He would pretty much do anything, manipulate people just to get his revenge. And that's pretty much the same thing with Huey. Like, he inadvertently did kill, what was her name? Lockjaw, something jaw, Claw, something. And she died.
Popclaw.
There we go. He inadvertently killed her.
Who? Oh, Huey did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, but yeah, I don't know. Popclaw didn't have to kill her. Like, I don't know. He could have sat there and tried to run or get her out of there or let Homelander do it. It didn't have to be him, but I guess for his own sake, he knew he did have to do it. But man, that is just ruthless. But Mother's Milk seemed to get to his family on time. Did they just not know where they were yet? Like, how did they know? How? I don't know. Yeah, it's like it seemed like they were on to everybody. How did they not know where the families were already? That seemed kind of coinkydinky.
Because they were just wanted to kill the boys, not the family.
They just wanted them. I like that. So Homelander was back at Vought, and we hear that they're just 3 votes away from their goal of being integrated into the military. And Homelander didn't really seem to care about that right now. He's more interested in what became of an old employee, Becca Butcher. This was an eye lifter because I thought he was going to be the cause of her death, or disappearance at least.
That too. I actually thought so as well.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. And then Allie with an eye is acting like she hardly remembers the woman, but this makes her try to like make a date with Homelander, which is what she does anytime she wants his mind off something. So she looked pretty worried as he was walking away. This means she obviously had something to do with Becca's disappearance, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it had to be. And it looks like the Deep is getting acquainted with the locals. I mean, he's getting down, like getting freaky deaky with the people. And I'm like, I'm down with people getting their freaky fetish on, but like when it's not at the expense of another, like I don't give 2 fins about the Deep, but for some reason that scene was just a little uncomfortable.
That was painful as hell. And I don't even have damn gills.
Right? I was just, oh man, I hate that guy, but man, that was a rough scene. I was like, she was not playing. And Billy, not trusting anybody, put a bug on Mesmer because, fuck you. When Mesmer told Billy, like, he could help him find his wife, and then Billy helped him up, did you think Billy was actually going to accept his help?
Nope. Not at all. He was going to die. The moment he saw Billy Butcher, he's like, I'm dead.
You knew that was game over right then and there. After Billy killed Mesmer, he, like, stopped and looked at himself in the mirror. What do you think he was thinking right then?
This is what I've become.
This is where we're at.
At this point, like, he gave them up. Like, if he never gave them up, they would have been in smooth sailing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it might not have been smooth sailing, but yeah, they wouldn't have been off like they were. Like, yeah, he screwed everybody.
Because they didn't know who on earth was after them when we were trying to bring down Vault. But the moment they name dropped him, show the images because of him, they had no choice.
Yeah, that was nuts. And how brutal was that when, like, the lady showed Billy the video of his wife being in a room with Homelander for 3 hours and then coming out with her clothes all disheveled? Oh, Billy was just like, dude, talk about a gut punch.
Yep.
Do you think she was a willing participant with Homelander, or do you think Homelander basically raped her? Because, like, from that video, it was hard to tell. It looked like it could have been either way.
Exactly. Like, in the beginning, I thought it was like a rape thing, just like with Starlight. But now watching it, and I'm like, well, maybe the only thing in this show is gonna be like in terms of like rape is probably Starlight and the Deep, and then maybe this was just consensual between like Homelander and Becca, and then maybe she just felt ashamed after doing the deed, and then she ended up being pregnant.
And then, like, how do you go back after that? Absolutely. And I mean, yeah, she gets all starstruck. This is like the most powerful man in the universe. I mean, he's a superhero. It's not like you can't not see something like that happening. But Maeve gave Starlight some relationship advice and how the only way to be truly bulletproof is to cut off all relationships. Do you think she believes her own bullshit?
Who? Starlight?
Yeah, Maeve was giving Starlight some relationship advice, like the only way to be bulletproof is basically to not have any relationships and just cut everybody out. You think she
I found
believes?
that hypocritical because then in the previous episode she went right back to her ex. Like, unless you can just make the argument she was drunk, but still.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, yeah, like I said, I don't think she buys into her own BS. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Jake, I don't know. It seems like it should. It's. I was on the rape tip too, but yeah, the longer you watch it, and the more that goes, it's like the more I start questioning. I gotta say. And I know it's like the comic relief, but how messed up are these deep scenes? Like every creature in the sea he tries to save ends up in ruin. Like I did giggle out loud when that knife went through that lobster's head, but at some point I'm like, why do we even have the deep scenes?
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's the way how he's like, I'm gonna save you. Then it's like, oh, hold up. And he just like took the knife and just killed lobster.
Oh, every time, dude. They're all just like, yeah, if he's trying to save you, you're gonna end up dead because he has no skills. Like, how did this guy ever become a hero? That's why he's the joke of the crew.
This is a downward spiral with the deep.
Exactly. So the crew get their loved ones out to the safe house, but how safe is it really? Like, if just one of them got followed back there, it would be curtains for all of them. I was a little nervous for him. But Mother's Milk was spot on. Was spot on calling Billy on his bullshit with Agent Rayner. Like, how do you think he figured out that he's like Agent Rayner probably was all in for all this, but since she wouldn't give you Homelander, all of a sudden you just called bullshit and cut out everything, right? Like, how did he know? Like, does he just know Billy inside and out?
Oh, most definitely. He knew Billy. That's what he mainly wanted. Like, he is simply just obsessed with Homelander.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. So Homelander drops in on Dr. Vogelbaum and finds out more than he bargained for, like the fact that he actually can have children and got the Becca pregnant. So that was a wild call when we did find out. And then also that the baby clawed its way out and was alive for 10 seconds, but then drowned in its own mother's blood. Like, he seemed a little shady when he said that. Did you think he was telling the truth?
Would you trust Mr. Falcone?
Hell no. Never, never. That's funny. I didn't even realize. I forgot about him being in Gotham. That's awesome. But how big were the balls on that guy? Like calling Homelander a mistake to his face and his biggest failure. Like, is he really that bored at home? Like he'd just rather die because that's almost a death sentence. Talking smack to that man.
But like after watching this episode, I was convinced Becca was still alive. 'Cause the way how he was like, I should not have separated, the test subject from the mother, because then it'll just like mess it up, the whole thing up. And I'm just like, wait a minute. And then he just miraculously said that she died in childbirth, and then also the baby died. I'm like, they're probably still alive.
Yeah,
If
I remember.
so, that's gonna be you're gonna hear Billy Butcher's face crack the moment
Oh,
he looks upon Becca.
yeah, that's just insane. And if you were Starlight, and Starlight said she wanted to meet, would you have gone if you were Huey? After knowing everything's a bust and everything's already out in the open, would you have went to that meeting?
Knowing Huey and his personality, he would have gone. But if I would have gone, hell no. I'd be like, let's FaceTime or something.
You know what I mean? Like, let's talk over the phone and work some things out first. But Huey passed up on another golden opportunity to show Starlight that he truly loved her by not telling Billy to piss off and staying to help her. Like when Billy showed up and shot her, would you have stayed and helped her, or would you have ran off with Billy like he did?
Now it ran off because she was literally about to go and just arrest him, turn
Yeah.
him in. And if that happened, Vought would have killed him.
Oh, of course. But I mean, I don't know. I think he could have talked her down and she was just mad and hurt. And I think if he would have stayed there and showed her, like that would have showed her that he truly does care about her and loves her. And it's like, whatever happens to me, I don't care. I just want to be honest and tell you exactly what's what. And yeah, absolutely. Oh, man. But yeah, I don't know. I think I would have stayed there on that one. We got opposites on that one. I think I would have stayed and been like, "Hey man, I'm with you. Let's do this. This is what really happened. Here's the truth, and fingers crossed, don't turn me in, and I'm a dead man." But all in all, this was an absolutely phenomenal episode. Do you like this one?
Yep.
Oh man, I thought this was a great episode.
I think it was better than the previous two episodes because they were like more of setup.
Right, exactly. But I mean, there hasn't been I don't think there was one episode that I didn't like. I mean, I love pretty much every single episode. I think it started off good and just got better all the way through the season. I absolutely loved it. Oh, a little trivia for anybody who's watching this later and makes it this far. Here's one for you. Write it down in the comments below. What was Pop Claw's real name?
Susan, Catherine.
Eh, eh.
Yeah.
Oh man, if you know it, write it in the chat or write it down below. What was Pop Claw's real name? Jake Cruz says most shows and movies are quick conversions from solving all their problems. Yeah, this one's a long run. I don't know. I absolutely love this series from start to finish. Like I said, I think it started good and got better all the way. It was absolutely amazing. But once again, what is Pop Claw's real name? Write it in the comment section down below. And why won't that do that? And then we get on to episode 8, the finale. And the finale was called You Found Me. And this was, I mean, like I said, I'm just spoiler alert. I was 100% right out of the gate pumped with this one. I was so happy they finally nailed the finale. I was loving it. But we open right off in Tel Rifat, Syria, with a platoon sneaking up on what I'm guessing was a terrorist camp. And just before breaching, they get stopped by none other than Homelander himself. And wouldn't that actually be a good feeling, knowing like you don't have to run into a place like that and risk your life? Just you can sit back and like, yeah, the bulletproof guy's got it.
But then that just does away with the whole army thing. It's like imagine your whole life you wanted to join the army, go out there, and then I'm just gonna sit back and let Homelander do it.
Everybody might want to join the army, but nobody wants to die, I wouldn't think. Like, I mean, very few join the army just to die. I think that would be a good feeling. Like, instead of going in there and knowing if you're going to get got, like, hey, let the bulletproof guy get it. And he handled it no problem. I actually was a big fan of that. I like that part. But he heads inside to kill everybody and then comes out with a manufactured generic form of Compound V. And then we see back at Vought that Ally with an Eye is strong-arming the government. And now that it's out that they're a soup terrorist, isn't it obvious that Vought gave the juice to the enemy to guarantee their status and future American security?
Most definitely, because it was just a coincidence as to when she was pretty much, in that was it the I don't think she was a commissioner or something, but when she was being I can't even talk. Interrogated.
Yeah.
There we go. The freaking soup terrorist just appeared out of nowhere. I'm just like, okay, come on, this is a huge coincidence now.
Way too coincidental. There's just no way. And why wouldn't the government just call her bluff? Like release to the public that Vought is responsible for the soup terrorist, and if their company's heroes are truly heroes, then they would have to protect America regardless. So they'd have to keep their hero status, wouldn't they?
Most definitely.
So yeah, I mean, why indoctrinate them into the military? Why pay them anything? Like if you're really a hero and we need you, you're going to do the hero thing. If not, then you're not really a hero in the first place, right?
What is the true definition of a hero, though?
One who saves at the cost of his own. He puts others before himself. We then get a reminder why never to trust a U.S. agency. Like, they screw you as soon as they get what they need every time. And, like, can you believe all Agent Raynor had to say to Billy was cut bait and run for your lives? Like, thanks a lot, sweetie. Like, wasn't that ruthless?
Of course. The thing is, she was saving her life because she literally just threatened Vought, of all people right now, who's now has their hands in the military.
Yeah, that was just, oh my God. It's like you do everything you're supposed to. You give her everything she wanted. And her first thing to tell you is like, oh, yeah, we flipped and we're on the other side now. So cut bait and run for your lives. Good luck. Like, oh my God. Like, thanks a lot for nothing. Are you kidding me? So now, instead of having the government back up, they're basically wanted by the government and fugitives at large. And it was funny to see Billy try to play it off, and Eminem and Frenchie were instantly like, yeah, bullshit, dude, we're bouncing. Like, dude, they see him before he even makes a move. Starlight confronted her mom about everything, and the truth comes out, and her mom asked if Vought told her about this, and it was telling that she said no, a friend did. Is she saying that there's still a chance with her and Huey?
Yeah, the moment she said a friend, I'm like, damn, she's still friend-zoning Huey.
When that mom said, so I'm the monster, I was instantly like, hell yeah, you're the monster. Like, would you be able to forgive your mother if you found out she volunteered you to be a science experiment?
Pumping drugs into you as a baby. Yeah, you're a villain.
I mean, that's ruthless. How do you even forgive that? And it's like, and she's always talking about her dad. Like she said, her dad was never around. He just basically sent expensive gifts. Like, like you were asking earlier, are we going to find out about her dad, and who do we think her dad might be?
Exactly. That would be crazy if the father was what you call it, that dude,
Dr. Vogelbaum,
not Pokeball, the one who's like above. Oh my gosh, who's on the 82nd floor?
Edgar.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Well, that would be crazy. I don't know. She's a little blonde haired and blue eyed to be Edgar's baby, but that would be insane. My thing is, and we're going to talk about it a little bit later, but we have no idea how powerful Starlight is. And we know that like Homelander is supposedly the most powerful one in the universe. But what if Starlight really was actually created from start to finish in a lab, and she's actually just as powerful or even more powerful than Homelander?
Nah, she can't fly though.
She can't fly, but she's got that super strength, and we don't know how bitter that brightness is. Like those bright rays and light rays seem to be pretty powerful. Like, who do you think would be more powerful, like Homelander's eye rays or Starlight's burst of flash?
I hope it's Starlight's though.
And that's what I'm saying. If she was actually like the same thing, like if she was birthed the same way that Homelander is, we might find out that she's just a female version of him. I mean, that compound V seemed to take different effects in different people. Like I said, none of them were born that way. They were made that way. It's just what their body took in. So what if we find out that like she can't fly, but other than that, dude, Homelander couldn't save a plane. He wasn't strong enough to fly a plane down and land it. So maybe
That's debatable. That's debatable.
he just didn't want to.
Exactly.
He was like too lazy. Like, I'm not carrying this thing all the way back to land. Let it burn. Really? He could be. I mean, he's a sociopath and wanted people to die, but I don't know. I think that could be a thing. Like, we find out that like Starlight doesn't even really have a dad, that she was just basically incubated in a lab, and she's literally one of the most powerful hero soups out there. I think that would be kind of tight. That's what I was thinking when I saw that. Because you just see, like, she said she had her dad's pipe, and like we haven't seen really anybody smoking a pipe yet, but I mean, that's going to be a big indication, isn't it?
Unless he quit because they're minding him of his family.
Or if it was just a prop. Does she even remember her dad? Did she ever see him, or did she just get told about him? Like,
She does that. Does she have memories of her father though?
I think she did. I mean, she said she stole his pipe so he would come back. So she has to have memories of somebody. But maybe that wasn't even her father. Maybe that was just the doctor stopping by and making house calls and bringing expensive presents with him. That would kind of be crazy. Jake says she remembers her dad. But like I said, she remembers bits and pieces, and she stole the pipe. But, I mean, yeah, I guess I'm kind of reaching. She probably does remember. Oh, just like calling a drone strike earlier. But, yeah, absolutely. She remembers her dad, but I don't know. Are they false memories, implanted memories? Are they just memories of the doctor coming by, and that's who she thought was her dad, but really that was just the doctor who created her? Like, I don't know. Was that really her dad that she's remembering? And again, what is the point of the deep scene? Like, just to find out he wasn't being called back up to New York? Like, he's sitting there making, like, vodka mojitos or whatever, but why? Like, what made him think he was being called back up? I didn't get that scene.
False hope. That's all it is.
He's just on a hope and a prayer.
Mm-hmm.
Billy calls in one last favor from his last hope, and it's Mallory, the one who started this little anti-hero group, and he asks, but she is not interested. So back out at the hotel, or the hideout, and Kamiko is still in the bathroom getting all dolled up, and Mother's Milk had to, like, he must have peed his pants by now, right? Like, it seems like he's been waiting hours to get into this bathroom, and she's still in there.
Of course. Even after, when we first see her in the bathroom, like, starting to do her hair, that must have took a minute alone. He had to repeat himself.
Oh, all the rat's nest, yeah, all the naps in there, like, yeah, and they can't go anywhere. So, yeah, I'm telling you, my man was in a bad spot. And then right when you get the feeling that something bad is going to happen, it does. And our crew have been found, and they all get gassed and captured. And it looks like Frenchie and Mother's Milk like should have bounced when they had the chance, no?
Mm-hmm.
Like they told Billy that they were out, and he talked him into staying. So this is on him. And then when he has when he finds out, he's just like, oh well, like he has no love for anybody. Like how evil is Billy Butcher?
He's evil.
I mean, he's the one. He tells these guys to stay put. Just give me another hour. So they do, and then they get got, and then he has no desire whatsoever to go save or help them whatsoever. Like he leaves. I mean, Huey's got more love for these people than he does. Like, what's up with that?
I'm telling you, man. If Huey dies, I'd be sad. Butcher dies, I'd be sad. Frenchie and Mother's Milk, maybe.
They're the red shirts. They can just go.
Yeah, like I'd be sad more if like Mother's Milk's his wife and daughter get killed. That I'd be more sad about. Mother's Milk died, I'm like,
I can't theorize so many of these things. I already know. Oh, bringing problems. Yep. You must have got into season 2 already. He said, I couldn't wait. I hit season 2 up early. Butcher is driven to the point of psycho. Yeah, he's off. He's been off his rocker for a minute. Like he
and
is just
what's her name? Molly, who started the whole thing?
Mallory.
Supposed to be Mallory. Like you can see how it all started because of her. Like she pretty much manipulated Butcher to become the man we see today. And pretty much Butcher has done the same thing to Huey.
Yeah, Mallory gives Billy a name and makes him swear never to return. But if that was you and you knew these bastards torched your kids or your grandkids, wouldn't you do whatever you could to get justice? Like, I can't imagine just hiding out in the woods like that.
Well, even then, it's like I'm guessing she still has kids herself. Like those are grandkids that got killed, and then it's like, well, if she continues down this road, who else close to her is going to get torched? So maybe just like fear in itself. If she's like, let me just back out of it.
You think she's doing it just to save the kids she has left? That could be. That could definitely be. We then see why it's so important for someone like A-Train to stay in the 7, because without his stature, he gets treated like every other common criminal. Like, that was a pretty brutal scene. Is A-Train about to snap? It seems like he's at his wit's end. Like, is it just life in general or the withdrawals from the V getting to him?
The withdrawals, man. Withdrawals.
Those withdrawals are hitting him hard. So Butcher and Huey head back to the motel, but see it's been burned, and the rest of the crew has been snatched up. And got to give it up. Butcher has some serious hunter-like skills to have noticed all that. And can Huey really still be that naive? Like, when he started talking about how Billy really never cared about him or Robin, I was like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
That is, like, so obvious.
It's like, what are you thinking? And was he right to finally dump Billy and get away from him, or was, like, Billy his best bet at survival? Like, those hunter-like skills and instincts could be pretty useful right about now.
50-50. Ditch him. But at the same time, you still need Butcher around.
Yeah, you need those soldier skills. And can I say, like, I get and don't appreciate the joke of them saying, like, there's going to be nudity in this episode, but literally all you ever get is the deep's ass.
Really?
Come on, man. How about we just cut out the nudity if that's where we're going with it? Oh, man. With her faith being shaken to the core, Starlight decides to head to church, and Huey meets her there, showing that he has some pretty big cojones himself. Like, he has the nerve to ask her for help right now. Like, I was like, what?
The man's in love. What can you say?
That's true. Again, if he just sit her down and tell, like, her his side of the story from start to finish, he'd probably end up with an amazing new girlfriend. I don't know why he doesn't just do that.
So at what point do you think he should have confessed, like, how many episodes back? Or the exact moment?
I would have done it right after he slept with her. Just like you got, you're all feeling some kind of way, you're all emotional, and be like, hey, I just want to come clean. Like, this is the whole thing. I just want to be straight with you and, be on the right path. It'd be rough, but better early than late.
I probably went to the point when there was at the church retreat, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I would have gone, like, confess at that point.
Yeah, out there when he was saying, like, that she was the best thing that happened to him. Just keep it moving and just, let her know. Let her in on it right then and there. But, yeah, you got to tell her, because if she finds out on her own, it's just so much worse. But A-Train is on a path to self-destruction, and it looks like he just chased off the last person who truly cared about him when he yelled his brother away. And like, how do you like how the Black Noir just like cut in on the piano at that party? Like, that'd be so uncomfortable. He just sits down next to you and starts staring at you until you leave. Like, he cannot be a good guy, can he?
Nope. The most quietest person in the room.
Yeah, silent but
Tells
deadly.
so much.
And
Because they've done so much. Even I think it was like previous episode when Homelander was like, "Oh, all of you guys are like, something's like off. You're not on your game, except for you, Black Noir." But at the same time, he could have been sweating. Like, oh shoot, he knows what I've been doing. Like, he's like the enigma.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, if you come in and you're on Homelander's good side, then there's something definitely off about you. You're not a good person. And at the Vought party, we finally get to put a face with the name, and we get to meet Edgar from the 82nd floor, the one man who seems to put Homelander on edge. And he gives Madeline her well-earned bonus and says basically he wants to start shaping her to someday take over the business. So we also see Starlight cannot hold her booze, and her whole world is crashing down around her. And we don't actually know like how powerful she is. Like I said, and we know she's amazing. We do know she looks amazing in her outfit, but how strong do you think she is? Like I said, do you think her light beam has any chance of being a match for Homelander's eye rays?
Could be, but you've seen Breaking Bad before, right?
No,
Oh my gosh, DJ.
I know.
Did you not? Because it's literally one of the characters.
Oh, really?
Yup.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh, how could you not see? I don't know how you feel when I didn't see Tommy Boy.
See, now I got to add one more to my list. Oh man, but Queen May finally has her heart to heart with Starlight and tells her it's okay to be the good one hero left. And you think this will be enough to snap Starlight out of her funk?
Yeah, I think this was it because after that conversation, she pretty much like goes back and saves Huey.
That's it. She got the words she needed to hear. And Homelander finally confronts Madeline at the party about what he found out. He also tells her that it was him that gave the enemy the generic V that created the soup terrorist. Like that shocked me because I thought for sure it was her.
So did I. In a way, how she was like talking to that senator in the beginning of the episode, I'm like, okay, it was obviously her.
Yeah,
But
I thought
nope.
that was a cool little twist.
Like I said before, he's unpredictable. We don't know what Homelander would do at any moment.
Right? And was she really all hot and worked up after hearing it was Homelander who carried out that plan all by himself, or was she just left speechless and basically would wanted to do something she was speechless that he would do something so rash and dangerous, and that's why she basically stuck her tongue down his throat? Because that's what she always does when she wants to change his mind or get his mind off something, is just start sexually advancing on him.
Yep, it's pretty much a power move at this point.
Wow. So do you think she was actually happy that he made that move, or do you think she was just scared that he would actually do something like that by himself?
Hell no, she was afraid, and we find out near the end of the episode where she finally confesses the truth. Like she's always been afraid of Homelander.
And as well, you should be. I mean, this guy, there's nothing that can stop this guy. Of course, you're going to be afraid of him. And it seems like she stays in charge, and like he seems to like it. Like even when given multiple apologies upon a climax, like I ask again, do we know who the father of her baby is?
That's another good question. It could have been Homelander's kid.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I've kind of thought this whole thing, that it was Homelander's kid. And then when we finally see that they do have this kind of relationship and it actually does go to that level, it really makes me think that that's his kid. But Frenchie and Mother's Milk get a little bonding time in lockup, and that was cool to see them. But I don't get like how like as close and cuddly as Allie with an eye is with Homelander, and then she tells him about like her upcoming promotion and makes her promise like no more secrets. Like they have a really weird relationship.
That she wouldn't lie to him, but she couldn't get her story straight.
That was just crazy. And isn't she smarter than that to give up more info than she was being asked for? Like she's so tight and smart with every other group and senators and military and FBI. Like she had no business bringing up his son again. Like what was she thinking? Of course you're going to mess something up in the story, especially when you know you're lying.
Mm-hmm. Homelander just kept probing about it. Like he just seems like it was never gonna stop.
But they were just sitting there quiet, and yeah, she basically kept talking. Like she should have just shut up, but she wasn't being asked about it. I thought that was a rookie move right there. And speaking of what was he thinking, Huey pulls the ultimate savage move and just gets himself caught to free his team. Like he really does have some huge metal bangers.
I didn't even notice until they brought it up.
I was just like, how are you? I like the fact that he walked in there and got himself captured. Like even Frenchie gave him the kiss, and they're like, oh my God, never have I seen somebody just give up their life so willingly. Like you're gonna die, but man, you're the man for doing so. And we finally get to see a chink in Madeline's armor, like it's her own well self-being. For the first time, she actually looked a little worried when she found Billy sitting alone in her home waiting for her.
I would be too.
Oh, dude, you find some guy with a gun waiting in the dark, hell yeah, you're going to be scared. And I forgot that Frenchie never got to see Kamiko all made up. Like, he was mesmerized. That almost got him killed when he saw his girl all dolled up.
Most definitely.
How big a hero was Mother's Milk to risk his life to go save Kamiko for Frenchie? Like, they've come a long way from hating each other a few episodes ago.
And almost out of character. I'm like, wait a minute. You're just actually going to save this chick who you barely know. You're not even cool with. You have a wife and kid. Really? Why couldn't it be French to do it?
Well, Frenchie was all shot up. He couldn't do it. So, I mean, Frenchie just gave him that look like, man, I can't do it. I need you to do this for me. And Mother's Milk was like, God dang it. And just ran into the bullets in the line of fire. Like, yeah, that was amazing.
Unless this could have been the moment where Frenchie could have took some compound V and saved. That's what I wanted.
But they checked him before they threw him in jail. So how would he get? They didn't have any compound V.
Huey.
If Huey would have brought that instead of his retainer. Like the true rookie Huey is, though, he sprays all the bullets mainly into walls, and the crew has no way to protect themselves, so they quickly get overran. But lucky for them, Starlight remembers what it's like to be a hero, and she shows up and just in a nick of time to disperse the bad guys in a flash. Well, the crew is just about to get out and be safe. Who else but A-Train shows up, and he outruns Starlight's blast, but he was so amped up on V that it gave him a heart attack. Like we saw this coming, didn't we?
Oh, yes, because the brother kept saying, who I think the brother is in Legends, by the way. I don't think we ever mentioned that. I think the brother was in Legends of Tomorrow.
For what?
I think it was like an episode or two. Like the brother was in Legends.
Really? I don't remember that. Dude, you know that's my guilty pleasure. I love some DC Legends of Tomorrow.
But yeah, like your brother keep on mentioning, like if you keep doing this, you're gonna die. You're gonna die. And what was happening in this episode? Heart attack.
Exactly. And if you were Huey and you know this man was seconds away from killing you and your girl, would you really try to give him CPR and save his life?
I probably would. Like I would hesitate, and then I'm like, you know what? After this, let me go save his ass.
I would have used that time to remove his head from his shoulders. Are you kidding me? It would have been curtains for that bastard if that was me. There ain't no saving you. He's like, no, not with all you've done. You got to go. Implode my first woman and now threatening the second one? Sorry, but you got to die.
On top of that, though, like Starlight, like saving Huey, like she pretty much like turned her own self in at that point, even before A-Train even got there. Because couldn't those vault security people have been like, wait a minute, Starlight saved them?
Yeah, there's cameras everywhere. We already saw that. But Starlight calls it in that A-Train is down, and she tells Huey he has to go or he'll be caught. And right before that, she noted that he'll never stop coming for you. Was she just getting rid of Huey so basically she can kill off A-Train?
That would be messed up. If we learn next season A-Train's dead by Starlight.
That would be amazing. Are you kidding me? Dude, she just said he's never going to stop coming for you, and that's her man. You got to protect your man. So, again, I'd be removing head from shoulders at this point. But even more importantly, after all that she's done, shouldn't Huey have given her at least an I love you before he bounced?
Nah. If anything, she should have said I love you, and then Huey would have been like, I know, and then he bounced.
Oh, you're going savage on it. It got to be cold. Oh, that's ruthless. Well, back at Madeline's house, Highlander finally shows up, and he and Billy have a little chat, and Homelander says it was Becca that came on to him. Do you believe that?
again, I'm still like 80-20 with that. Like, I think that it was consensual, and then something happened, or it could have been like the deep situation this episode.
Could be like, you want to keep this job, you better. Oh, yeah, could be something like that. I don't know. She seemed pretty infatuated with Billy, so I don't know. That's pretty wild. But and then it said like she disappeared 8 years ago, and this happened. The Vought party was 8 years ago. So did she just have sex and then just leave Billy right away, or did she wait for like 5 months, 4 months, whatever, find out she was pregnant, and then bounce?
Now, I think she found out in the moment she got pregnant, but even then, Vogabond was saying like if he was honest about that whole story, that the pregnancy was like rapidly happening. So it wouldn't like take like 5 months. It would have been like quicker than 5 months actually.
Homelander isn't just evil; he's weird. He's messed up. He's a science project, basically, is what he is. So yeah, you don't know what he is. But then Homelander shows that he truly has no emotions or feelings for anyone other than himself, as he fries Allie with an eyes out and melts her brain. Like super ruthless, seeing as how like he was just inside her a few hours ago.
She means nothing to him.
Oh, that was so raw. That was wild. And after seeing that, what little plan did he have was totally gone. Like Billy says, "Fuck it," and lets loose on the trigger finger. But boom goes the dynamite. Do we really think Billy's going to be dead? Oh hell no! Because it seems even this plan blows up in his face as he wakes up on a lawn being watered. And Homelander says, "Like you can thank me. You can thank me later for saving your life." Does Homelander like truly like and somewhat respect Billy?
I mean, he did say he liked him in that whole speech. Like he's like, "Oh, so this is your plan? This is what you're gonna try to do? I like you for your craziness."
I don't think he does. He has an affection and like a kid. Like, man, you're just as wild and off the chart as I am. Like, are they going to end up being friends before this is over? You think?
Who knows? Now at
Yeah,
this point, I want to see Billy Butcher get some compound B, have some strength as Homelander, and they both duke it out.
there you go. There you go. That might have to be what happens in the end of it. Something's going to happen to do something. I mean, we can't just have Homelander just being able to walk through life like untouched. Like, something's going to have to come up with something that's going to be able to stop him or affect him. They're going to have to come up with some kryptonite type bullet to be able to slow this guy down. And as if this isn't all big enough shock, we see the lawn Billy's waking up on is none other than his missing wife's Becca's house. Like, she didn't die in child labor, and she's not the only one who lived. She and Homelander have a son together, and this is crazy. She's been out here raising his son on the DL all by herself. Like, Billy can't believe his eyes. Like, he's all, "Becca, you got some splaining to do." I was like, what an epic finale. Like, this is how you end a season, dude. I was loving every minute of it. What'd you think about all that?
I wanted season 2, and yet it took me this long to get to season 2.
Right? And that's the thing. I watched this almost a year ago, probably was a year ago at this point. I literally cannot believe I've made it this long to not watching season 2 because I am dying to figure out what happens next.
We got after finish watching season 2, we gotta wait for season 3.
I think by the time we get done doing season 2, season 3 might be out. And it might run into each other. We'll see. I don't know how long it's going to be out or when it's supposed to come, but is it going to wait till 2022 or is it going to be out at the end of this year?
It's at the end of this year.
Yeah, so see, there we go. That'll be pretty close, so we shouldn't have to wait too far. So yeah, I'm totally pumped and excited. I think like this is going to be crazy. Like what can she possibly say? Like Billy is going to be beside himself. Like, is there any redemption? Is there any coming back? And if she does end up hooking up, like, is she going to hook up with Homelander and be like, we're going to be a family? Or is she going to try to go back to Billy? Is nobody going to hook up? Are Billy and Homelander going to end up being friends? Like, what's going to go down with all this?
That would be some interesting friendship. But it's all after we had to like have that conversation as to like what went down in that hotel room between Becca and Homelander. And hopefully she doesn't lie.
Yep, exactly. That's the main thing we need to know. Was it consensual? Like, were you just a little groupie getting your groupie love on? Or is this just basically he raped you or made you do it to keep your job. Like, what's going on here? Or maybe she just wanted a little baby Soup to raise. I mean, maybe they talked to her and they're like, this could happen and you need to go in, because she was going to be taking over Homelander's accounts. So maybe the doctor had already told him and primed her to do this. And basically, the doctors, what if we find out that the doctors and Allie with an eye were the ones that actually sent her in there to get pregnant?
That would have been crazy if it was all planned.
Yeah, what if we find out it was all manipulated and planned? That would be nuts. Yeah, I am super excited to see it. What's the main thing you need answered out of this? I want to know, did Allie with an eye or did Starlight end up killing A-Train? Like, you got to go, and end up killing him? Like, yeah.
See, now that's my thing right now. Like I need to know, is A-Train alive? And if he's alive, how are they gonna move from that situation? Because they have her on tape. A-Train could snitch. Like there's just so much there. Then we need to know more about this father, Starlight, because they constantly keep bringing him up in the season. Also, there's this one crazy theory I remember in this first season where people speculated that Starlight is actually pregnant because she threw up in that party. So it's either A, she was drunk, or B, she is pregnant with Huey's baby.
We don't know how much time's passed. Wouldn't that be amazing? That's how did I not put that together? That's awesome. And it's like, yeah, she's drunk at a party, so they float right in. But yeah, I never thought of that. That'd be amazing. She's pregnant with Huey's kids, and now they're going to be a thing. Oh yeah, I am totally pumped for season 2. I cannot wait. And yeah, we're going to be right back on it next Tuesday. So yep, the ride's going to continue. It sounds like our man Andy's going to be back for season 2. We might have another guest coming back for season 2. I think AK wants to jump in. So yeah, it's going to be us, the whole crew in there talking about it, and yeah, getting it in. So I hope everybody out there is having an absolutely fantastic week. I hope you're enjoying the ride and looking forward to season 2 as much as we are. So you guys have an amazing rest of the week and be easy. We'll see you soon. See you on Saturday, everybody. Bye.